The village sleeps under the first light of dawn. Kofi, the hunter, stands on the edge, preparing for his journey into the forest. Kofi says farewell to the village elder, who warns him about the spirit of the forest. Kofi steps into the dense, ancient forest, leaving behind the safety of the village. Kofi spots signs of the antelope, fresh tracks in the soft soil. Kofi catches a glimpse of the antelope, a shadow moving through the trees. Kofi sets off in pursuit of the antelope, his feet pounding the forest floor. Despite his efforts, the antelope remains just out of reach, darting effortlessly through the trees. The forest becomes more tangled, vines and undergrowth closing in on Kofi. The forest becomes eerily silent as Kofi loses sight of the antelope. Kofi looks around and realizes he no longer knows where he is. Kofi notices the sky is now completely hidden by the thick canopy of trees above him. For the first time, Kofi feels fear creeping in. He calls out, but his voice is swallowed by the trees. Kofi tries to retrace his steps, but finds himself back at the same spot. The sun begins to set, casting long, ominous shadows across the forest floor. The sounds of night begin. Strange, unfamiliar noises echo through the forest. Kofi hears a sound and looks up to see the antelope standing at the edge of the firelight, watching him. Desperate, Kofi speaks to the antelope, asking for help to find his way home. The antelope turns and begins to walk, and Kofi, with no other option, follows it. As Kofi follows the antelope, the dense fog begins to lift, revealing a clearer path through the trees. As Kofi follows the antelope, the dense fog begins to lift, revealing a clearer path through the trees. The path the antelope leads Kofi on is strange and winding, but the forest feels less threatening now. Hours pass, and the sky is filled with stars, the forest now silent and still. Kofi senses he's getting close to the edge of the forest as he hears distant sounds of the village. The antelope stops just at the edge of the forest, looking back at Kofi one last time. As Kofi watches, the antelope disappears into the forest without a sound. Kofi stumbles out of the forest as dawn breaks, greeted by the waking village. Kofi gathers the villagers and tells them of his strange encounter with the antelope. The villagers are moved by Kofi's story, realizing the forest spirit had saved him. The village now holds a new respect for the forest and the spirit of the antelope. Kofi, now at peace, watches the forest from the village, knowing he will never hunt the deep woods again.